Okay, good morning. Today we'll be talking about chapter 22, bar graph. This is used when data is given in the numerical form and it has to be represented in a more specific way in terms of a graph. So, in bar graph data, a group of data are represented in the form of rectangular bars of equal width and varying length. We will be discussing with an example, right? So the two axes that is considered while drawing the bar graph is x-axis and y-axis. The rectangles are drawn either vertically or horizontally by keeping equal space between them, right? The height of rectangle depends upon the number it represents. If the number is big one, then the height will increase. If it is a small one, then the height will decrease. And in this bar graph, it is very important to take a proper scale. The scale depends upon the number of the data. If it is a bigger value, we go for a bigger scale. If it is a smaller value, we go for a smaller scale, right? That we'll be discussing by taking an example. First, we'll see different steps which are involved in the bar graph. On the graph paper, x-axis represent the horizontal line and y-axis represent the vertical lines, right? Now we will be marking the points at equal interval along the x-axis. If the width is along the x-axis, then its height must be along the y-axis, right? After marking the width along the x-axis, we have to write the name of the data which is to be plotted onto the y-axis. Then in third step, we'll be taking a suitable scale. On that scale, we'll be determining the height of the bar for a given numerical values. Let's consider an example. This example shows the marks obtained by a particular student in his annual examination. First row represents subjects, second row represents marks obtained, right? That is Hindi, English, mathematics, science, social studies. There are different subjects and the marks are different as per the subjects. We have to draw this data in the form of a bar graph. So first we will be taking a bar graph, a graph sheet, and onto the graph sheet we will be representing x-axis. X-axis will be allotted for the subjects and y-axis will be allotted for the marks, as you can see in the figure. On x-axis subjects is marked and on the y-axis marks obtained is marked. So next the step is to take the proper scale. Since our data is starting from 58 and it ends to 90, then we'll be taking a scale of 10, which should be convenient in this question. So the scale depends upon the type of the data. Since we can't take a scale of 100 because 100 will be a larger value, and even if you go for the 50, it will be again a larger value. We can't even take 5 because that will be too small. So we'll be taking a proper scale, and 10 is a suitable scale for representing these values onto the graph sheet, right? So we'll be taking a scale of 10, that is 1 unit will be representing 10 marks. So as you can see in the figure, x-axis represents subject, y-axis represents marks obtained. Now first subject is given as Hindi, so we'll be representing Hindi in the beginning. First we have marked this scale, that is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Since we have maximum 90, we can go for 100, no problem. Now each block represents 10 subdivisions and each subdivision represents 1 millimeter each. It means this represents 1 unit. 1 unit means 1 centimeter, and 1 centimeter has been allotted for 10 students, right? So if you have to represent 63, then we can easily move 3 blocks ahead of the 60. That is, this is 60. We can count 1, 2, 3 sub blocks, and that will represent 63. So such type of scale, taking of the scale is very convenient in these type of questions, right? So since Hindi is the marks allotted for Hindi is 63, we can represent 63. 3 blocks after 60. In the same way, the marks allotted for English is 75. So this can easily be represented after 70. 5 blocks after 70. For mathematics, we have 90. So this rectangular bar graph goes till 90. For science, we have 72. So this will move to 72. And for social science, it is 58. So this will move up to 58. Now this is the representation of bar graph. You can either set these graphs or not. Choice depends on you. But this is very important to mention the scale. You have to mention the scale. And whatever scale has been taken, it has to be mentioned on the graph sheet. Right? So this is how we basically represent the numerical data in the form of vertical graphs. ठीक है ना? Now this was about a single bar graph. Now I'll be discussing a double bar graph. There are many questions which involves double bar graph. Means two set of data has to be compared on the same graph sheet. So that is depicted by means of a double bar graph that we'll see after this. Now the next topic is double bar graph. In double bar graph, the graphical it is actually a graphical display of information using two bars which are beside each other, and the height varies based on the data available. Right. So we'll take another example. We'll be discussing this double bar graph topic with an example. The process of representing the axis scale is same as compared to the single bar graph. Right. So we'll be discussing with an example. The mark obtained by a student in various subjects in first term and second term out of 100 in each test are given below. So this is the marks obtained by a particular student in both terms of the exam, and these two terms of exams marks, they have to be represented in the form of a bar graph. So we'll be making one bar graph for this first term exam marks, and we'll be representing second bar graph for the second term exam marks. Right. So based on the data, we have to take a particular scale. Since we can see the maximum limit in the first set of data is 88 and minimum limit is 65, we can go for a scale of 10. In the same way, in the second set of data, the minimum limit is 67 and maximum limit is 94. We can still go for that scale. One thing you should make clear that the scale will be same for both set of the data. It will be same for both set of the data. You know, we can't take different scales for the these two sets of data. Otherwise, if you take different scale, then we have to represent onto the different graph sheets, right? But that is not the way. These two data has to be represented on the same graph sheet, right? Because we have to compare both the results. Okay. Now we'll see how to represent this data on a graph sheet. This is the representation of data on the graph sheet. Now on the x-axis, the subject has been marked. On the y-axis, marks obtained has been marked. Right. So for first term examination, we have for English 65 marks. So 65 has been marked. For the second term examination in English, the students has obtained 67 marks. So 67 has been marked. These two graphs has to be drawn close to each other. They are adjacent to each other. In the same way, for Hindi, we have 70 in the first term exam and 68 in the second term exam. In mathematics, we have 88 in the first term exam, 94 in the second term exam. In science, we have 82 in the first term exam, 85 in the second term exam, and in social science we have 71 in the first term exam and 76 in the second term exam. So after drawing these double bar graphs onto a graph sheet, we can easily compare that in which term of the examination the particular student gets maximum mark. Right. This actually bar graph shows his improvement in both the examinations. As we can see in the English, during the first term examination his marks was quite low as compared to the second term exam. In Hindi his marks was high in the first term examination, but it goes down in the second term examination. In mathematics it has increased in the second term examination as compared to the first term examination. In the same way in science it has increased in the second term examination as compared to the first term examination, and in social science also it has increased in second term examination as compared to the first term examination. So this bar graph actually gives us the benefit to compare a set of data, just by looking at the figure or graph, right? So this is the advantage of using bar graph or representation of data by means of a bar graph. Okay, just try to solve all the questions involved in this exercise, and if you have any doubt, just clarify your doubts. Okay, thank you.